Well, why am I laughing? Well, it's because Bernard said laughing is the most efficient thing to get rid of the tiredness, and I found out that is quite true. That when you laugh, he just suggests us to laugh like every 30 minutes. So I have been walking my way to become a realtor, and then I starting to get some pressures because I found a mentor and I need to pay the mentor for a certain amount. Originally I thought I can use the profit that I make from being a realtor and then donate to Desteni, but it might be I need to cut back on the amount that I donate to Desteni, because the problem is I'm paying everyone a share of the profits, and it's totally I'm pretty okay because I have shelter, I have food, but this world that is the way they're currently working, that everybody just being greedy and try to get as much money as possible using whatever means possible. The laws is just a tool for a toy for people that knows to make profits for themselves. The capitalism, most people, if you are living in the middle class or even in the lower class, I presume you will be living in the middle class, because if you are living in the lower class, then you might not even have have the money to pay for the internet. That you might not feel, but you can, if you use common sense, you can clearly see that this world is going crazy and going to the end. You don't need to. I mentioned this one already, that you don't need nature. Disasters, earthquakes, and tsunami, and everything, storms, tornadoes. But humanity itself is already totally lost in greediness. That everybody's just don't fucking care. They just care about their money, and they just care about how much I can get. I want to get more and more and more and more. Everyone's like that. I would say, except for the Estonian that use common sense to see, and for people like us that's participating in bringing forth the e-commerce system to end the atrocity of greediness. You really need to see how horrible greediness has causing everything, causing all sorts of atrocities in this world. For example, like right now, what I feel like is I'm feeling like I'm on debt, because there's certain amount of commission that I need to split, I need to pay, that I need to pay for things like that. It's kind of like that kind of feeling. So of course, other people are kind of like the starting point is trying to learn and then being a skillful fox to try to make more money in the system. But my starting point is not that. My starting point is just want to make money and then donate to Desteni. See whether I can make a certain amount of money for me to pay my tickets to go to the South Africa farm to be trained. If I have money, then I wouldn't even be taking the licensing test, because I would be still doing the translation. I would be doing my SRA. I've stopped SRA because I don't have money, I don't have support. And yeah, so I was feeling tired, laughing all along. So I was thinking, why don't I go share myself while I was after meals, to get some rest. I just finished recording the Chinese version, but it's not really that relaxing. And one point is usually I will write down my what I want to say a couple of days ago and choose a topic, and then I will be looking at the screens to see what I want to say. Right now I'm looking at a notepad++, but there's only something for me to look at because I get accustomed to talking in front of the words, but that's definitely not the main points. Right now I'm on the fly. I'm just talking what I want to talk. Of course I have a general idea of what I want to talk about. So what I want to talk about is about limitation. I talked to another Desteni member that she told me that she see me has a lot of limitation inside me. That at first I don't understand what's the meaning of limitation. I mean, I was living freely, I was doing what I want. What does she mean by limitation? Why would she say that I am limiting myself? At first I didn't realize that, but later on through more chattings, and then I look into myself, and then I found out that there are two major things that I'm limiting myself. First thing is I am fear. I have extreme fear of pain in me. I fear that I might be fall from a tall buildings. The pain of it. I fear pain. I fear being reincarnated as an animal and being experienced the pain. I fear being skinned, and things like that. So these are all limitations. I'm limiting myself by living into those fears. And another thing, one big major thing is the masturbation. I'm limiting myself. Why I'm limiting myself? At first I didn't see that. Why I would say that is a form of limitation, because no matter how good a feeling it is, if you can't live without it, if you just keep on looking for that type of feelings, then you are enslaved and controlled. But it's just in a willing way that you didn't see, including myself. I mean, I was looking for the feelings of masturbation, for the ecstasy, for the good feeling of the energy, but I didn't realize that when I cannot live without that, when I'm being bounded by such feelings, then I'm limiting myself. You are limited by only experiencing certain type of activities or certain type of pattern that you keep repeating, doing that again and again and again, and you cannot live without it. So that is a form of limitation. So what I do right now is, of course, I need to write self-forgiveness. Like I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to fear of pain. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to live in pain in real life, and realizing that I'm being subject and limited by pain. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to so fear of pain that I do not stand up within myself. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to so much fear about pain that I do not want to experience any pain unnecessarily. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to live within the shadow of pain, that pain is totally dominating me. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to realize that pain is a form of remind of that we are separating within each other. That can be acted as a reminder. Within seeing the pattern that I fear of pain and scared of it, then I stop and breathe and remind myself that pain can be assisting. Within seeing the pattern that I fear that I might be going crazy and losing control and deliberately causing tremendous amount of pain to me, that I stop and breathe and remind myself that I have common sense. I work with common sense and do my acts based on common sense. Of course, I'm still working on my self-forgiveness. I mean, I do the best I can to write as detailed as possible, because and also there's one thing that I'm limiting myself is I do not actually want to delete what does not fit within oneness and equality. I mean, I want to do self-forgiveness to clear myself for fear of not existing anymore after death and things like that. But I do not determine to committing myself to delete what does not fit within oneness and equality. That, for example, like I still want choices. I don't want to act like a robot, but of course this is irony that I am actually working as a robot, living as a robot that I'm working my way, I'm learning my way to work for what's best for all, because what's best for all means that you really need to sacrifice yourself, and in every moment observing what is really best for all, not just doing translation, not just doing the vlogs, or not just writing blogging. It's about almost like everything that you will involve in your real life, in your life, that you will need to consider what's best for all first before what you will experience. I mean, look at Bernard. I mean, if you talk to Bernard, you will know that he's totally dedicating himself, and Jeanette also. They are both dedicating themselves, contributing their hours, the time, the effort to us, to talk to us on the chat room. Of course, you need to be contributing to Desteni in order to get their support personally. And I mean, that's why we are so serious about bringing forth an e-community system, because like right now they are still living in concern of about not lacking of money, that they need money to run the farm, they need money to run the internet. I mean, they need to pay for $1,000 something US per month just to keep the internet on the farm. And if everybody become a millionaires, that's what e-community system about. E-community system is that everybody can be taken care of, where everybody can live like a millionaire. And that's what Bernard said. You don't need to work 90, let's not say 90 years, but let's say about 60 years. You don't have to work your lungs out for 60 years. You only need to work for 4 years. Why you're working for 60 years is only because of greediness, because your boss is greedy, your boss is greedy, your owner is greedy, your president is greedy. Everybody is greedy, and they want more. That's why they want design all sorts of levels within the enslavement, that enslaving each other to work their lungs out, to work to death. You don't have to work like this. Do you like this? Do you want the children to work like this? Do you want the children's children to continue to live like that? Well, I don't. That's why, I mean, just like many serious Destonians, and including myself, if I may allow to say so, are dedicating ourselves to bring forth the e-community system. Everyone becomes a millionaire e-community system on Earth. That they will publish a book about that, and we are all participating into a translation and transcripting, letting the earth knows what is the community system. So I want to say that I'm still working on the self-forgiveness. As Jeanette said, that's because I'm subconsciously resisting about do not want to change myself. So that's why I have manifested the blankness that I do not see. I cannot continue writing self-forgiveness. I mean, I'm just only at the very beginning level. I need to self-forgive on the point that I do not want to change. Like I forgive myself that I have allowed myself to be high within self-interest and high within the resistance subconscious resistance so that I don't have to totally change myself. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to totally delete what does not fit within oneness and equality. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to still want to hang on to the masturbation and energetical sex and self-interest. I want to do what I want instead of consider everything in existence as a whole, as one and equal, as me, as life, as part of life. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to realize that I am part of life and there's no choice. I'm not supposed to have personal choice. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to not eager to change, to totally delete what does not fit within oneness and equality. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to totally contribute myself to fit into oneness and equality. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to totally mold myself into oneness and equality. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted, allowed myself to learn how to enjoy within oneness and equality and being part of existence and the self-responsibility that I'm supposed to take within seeing the pattern that I want to cling on the self-interest, sex systems, masturbation, and energetic efficacy. I stop and breathe, and I remind myself that I'm part of existence, the self-responsibility I'm supposed to take to do and act for what's best for all. And this is just an example that because I write a lot, but I have not speak in front of the camera or showing others how I do self-forgiveness. And like after speaking such self-forgiveness words, is like magic codes that I feel the solar plexus in the belly area that becomes relaxed, kind of like something is disentangled, something has disappeared, some energetical bounds have disappeared. That it works very well. I mean, and I can foresee that there will be lots of human demons which are, they cannot control how they act. I mean, just look at the news. People are beginning to act strangely. People are beginning to kill people strangely. Brutally, it's like they are losing control. They cannot control themselves. And I think that's one of the hints of what Bernard said for the events to come, that there will be lots of people joining the SRA because they are forced to. At first I was thinking whether it will be SRA using SRA to cure cancers or things like that, so that the rich people have to pay for that, But it doesn't seem that way. It seems, and also they have revealed that the world, the cities will become full of psychiatric people, full of people losing control, cannot control themselves. You will be chaotic. That's what they said. I mean, including everything. That's why. I'm in a dilemma here that I want to assist myself. I want to do SRA, but I cannot because I have to earn money. And at the same time, I try to earn money through being a realtor, through as a real estate agent, but I found I have difficulties, there are lots of problems that I encounter that I don't know how to solve. And so I want to say about the limitation is whenever I have desires that I want to masturbate, and I will just remind myself that it has been going for pretty okay for I have masturbated for like 5 days, at least 5 days so far, and I just keep remind myself, I do not limit myself. Why do I limit myself only to masturbation, only experience masturbation? I mean, if you have been subjected and enslaved, then you are limiting yourself. I was limiting myself, and I don't want to limit myself anymore. Same as sleeping, I don't want to limit myself to the good old feeling of sleep. When you feel so good about sleeping, you think you are enjoying, but actually you are just limiting yourself. Limiting yourself to sleep. It's much clearer to say limitation in English, because in Chinese kind of a little bit clumsy in explaining what is limitation is, because they don't have such things. It's not they don't have, but they don't have a very clear usage, a normal day-to-day usage of the word limitation, because they don't they don't talk about limitation, this concept very much. So whenever I'm still working on, and also besides of that, I remind myself that what good is a masturbation, what good is an ecstasy. I project and thinking that it will be wonderful, it will be great, but actually in fact it's not. It's not that great. It's just an energy that surge flow through me, shoot through me, and then afterwards everything stays the same. My problems are the same. The world won't change. I will not change. My problems will not change. The situation will not change after the masturbation. Everything stays the same after 15 minutes at most. Everything stays the same. So why give myself up to the masturbation? And just like what Bernard said, masturbation will become a life or death experience. You will jeopardize your life just by masturbating. You will be more and more kind of like a near-death experience, and lots of people will have stroke and paralyzed for half of their body just because of having sex, and lots of people will die on their bed just for sex. How many people will listen to what I said, what we said about this thing, just about this point, sex point, that sex to kill in the future? How many people buy that? Not much. Not to mention that, just like what I said about Australian flooding, look at New Zealand. Now New Zealand has enormous earthquake. Things are coming. People, you really need to use your common sense to see, if things didn't happen in the past, then something's wrong, and the problem is the humanity. The humanity, because of greediness, disregard everything, including the existing animals, kingdoms, nature, earth. So, all these things, the earth, nature, animals, kingdoms, they're striking back. And people don't listen at this moment, And this is gigantic. It really is gigantic. So, I've talked a lot about this, but the only thing I can say, if you are not a Destonian at this moment, go study Destiny, what Destiny is about, what ecommunicism is about, before it's too late. I didn't regret it every moment ever since I found out Destiny. I have been living, although I've been encountering problems, but I'm living ever since I found Destiny. I didn't ever regret it from the very first day that I found Destiny and start beginning investigating what Destiny is about. And Destiny totally changed how I see myself, totally changed how I see things in existence, in my life. how should I spend my life. Yeah, I've talked about like close to 40 minutes now. English is better, it's much easier to express than Chinese. So, okay, we'll talk more later if you are willing to listen. Okay, see ya.